Hi there, guys. So this is something I have experience with, and I have a friend of mine that actually has a experience with this as well. Unfortunately, false twins, false twin flames. So there's something I discussed in my very first video. I do not recommend anyone asking for a twin flame after having these sort of experiences. So in both cases, I got a narcissist. My friend got a narcissist, both of which there was a telepathic element, which seems to be maybe a common thing. Both people turned out to be abusive, possibly abusive past with the other one. I personally found out the one I dealt with had tried to torture people with energy, abused tantra, abused witchcraft, including against people who didn't know energy, tried to make their eyes burn, all sorts of stuff like that. Um, yeah, somebody I met out in Souk, British Columbia, and yeah, it's I thought it was one of these things of, hey, I'm going to help this person do energy. I just want to really stress this on this channel. If you find yourself being an energy worker, a light worker, you do not owe it to anyone to do energy on them if you pick up that they are, in other words, dark as shit. If they reek of darkness and they have that oozing out of them and you can pick it out a mile away, you do not need to help them. You do not have to be a rescuer. You do not have to put your own health or any of that sort of stuff on the line because you see somebody that needs help. And there is very selfless, kind-hearted healers out there that are very willing to do that. And I know at minimum, and I did this, but still, I did not even, looking back, I should have just said, screw this, no. I said, you have to claim the light before I will even touch you, before I even will do any energy, anything for you. And you know what? It's narcissists. Literally, I will link a description down below of what a textbook narcissist is. Pretty much somebody who wears a mask, lies out their ass about who they are, personas like you wouldn't believe, just faking being a person. And I am going to talk more about narcissists on this channel. I have cousins, I have friends. I know of at least 5, 6 people roughly now, including myself. I dealt with 3 in this life, and I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of seeing really good people, really empathic people that have been hurt in some way, shape, or form by parasites like this, which are masquerade as people. And I'm not going to mix words. That's what they are. They absolutely are. They're little parasites. It's disgusting. It's discussed on, I've seen another YouTube video before where they described their soul can be almost parasitic. They're just, it's another form of energy vampire, pretty much. But there's people who have tried to commit suicide after being with narcissists, who have needed therapy, have lost all this sort of, it goes on and on. There's books on it. They're right there with a psychopath and a sociopath. But when you add a spiritual element, that's when it's really more sick and twisted. When somebody's trying to psychically abuse somebody, or in my case, she was trying to use tantra so there was sexual energy abuse, tried to make me experience some of this. Oh yeah, she got molested by her dad. So instead of dealing with those wounds, she ended up pretty much having a hate on for men. So one of her ex-husband tried torturing him with energy from a distance, tried to make his eyes burn, all this sort of crap. And it's really just, it's sick and twisted. It really is. Yeah, I know, there's one thing to have narcissistic traits, but a legit narcissist is completely different. And that's what I saw when one person pretended to be kind and loving, and then you find out that, and there's no lying, the Akashic records, I mean, you find out that they were trying to torture people, and that in my case, there was astral projection. They tried to get another friend, multiple friends involved, tried to do stuff with binds on my leg, sexual energy abuse, sexual abuse, sex magic stuff, dark witchcraft, dark magic, let's see, you name it, like, some of the stuff I went through, I actually started going to church for a bit. And I had it confirmed by people at the church who had dealt with stuff like this. I had it confirmed by other energy healers, different stuff that had happened. Because of this person and her friend, what led up to it, my dad almost died. Like, quite literally. He was so exhausted. And I was picking up on an energy. It happened in the garage, where, thank God, I had popped back and found him. I had to hand feed my dad. He's literally could barely say much of anything Tylenol because I thought he had a heart attack. He was working on his car. And he had the side door open, but literally he was asleep. Or like he wasn't asleep, but carbon monoxide poisoning. And when I looked on the astral, there was a presence in there that was trying to overdrive him. And before that, all the stress of the stuff that was going on with psychic attacks and stuff like that, my mom also ended up in the hospital. She was having chest stuff, and they worried about that. This is some of the stuff that happened. I ended up having it as well. I had 3 days where I had stuff at me trying to purposely keep me awake, keep me up. Yeah. Directly related to this person and her friend. I already mentioned I obviously can't name the names, but Vancouver Island, British Columbia is where it originates from. And these are formerly worked in real estate. One of them still does. That's as concise as I'll be. And yeah, but I'm not going to be more specific than that. It's disgusting that people like this exist. And that's what I found. And that takes a lot for someone like me to say. When they were trying to push darkness on me, trying to fuck with my heart, trying to make me into this person that I'm not. Literally tried to... I can't even describe the amount of shit. I could quite literally write a book. And I'm so disgusted that this person can literally look her, let's say it, she has a husband, in the eye every day, and her little kid, and pretend to be a person when really she's not. And it's disgusting. It really is. That somebody would actually try and behave that way. And I can tell you right now, I've done a lot of study in universal law, what it means when you put that type of stuff out. And I'm talking a year and a half, okay? Year and a half of stuff. Of getting to learn the different ways, I guess, that people can try and pull some shit. Oh my God. What would be queued up to come back if somebody actively put that out there? Do you have any idea? I helped a girl before who she lied and told me she tried to scare someone with energy. And at the time I'm kind of going, okay, but I saw the backlash that came at her. And it was not gentle. It really wasn't. And then I find out later it was more than trying to scare. So, let that in itself be a lesson. If you try and use energy and actively try to hurt people, guess what's going to come back your way? Or to people you love and care about. That's the scary part. So, I mean, I guess this is just what had to be said. I really had to, I wasn't sure would I talk about this more. And yeah, I mean, just a vile creature of a person. And not every, like I said, there is people with narcissistic attributes, which narcissism can exist in different people for sure. But there is a whole thing of like empaths and narcissists, where it's kind of like an empath has to learn boundaries and the self-love and self-care and self-respect, all this sort of stuff, and realize that sometimes there is parasitic people out there that are just takers. And I mean, if I told you the extent of really what involved both of the people involved, so I can delve into that more in another video, But I'm telling you right now, like, oh, it's gross. It's gross. Especially like I had one years ago when you see crocodile tears with a person when they are lying like you wouldn't believe, and then start crying. And being an empath, you can feel there's nothing behind the tears, and it's scary almost because you're like, I'm seeing this person, and I'm just like, this is bullshit. And then when I see that, it's just it's crocodile tears. That's what it is. And I mean, the fact that what was the other one? Oh no, she liked body talk too. That was another one, energy form she liked. Doesn't know a ton about energy, but everything she did know, and even actively looked up how to hurt people with energy, and got her friend to do it too. Gotta love that. Uh, yeah. Um, I'm not gonna bullshit on this channel. I think this is stuff that people need to be aware of. I really would not be asking for a twin flame. Soulmates in general, pretty safe. Ditch the labels. There's just, I really hope if you're watching, well, maybe if you're watching, you probably have had the experience, sort of hear that. Look to the soul for healing. Your soul. Ask the lessons. What is this bringing forth? Why did I have to deal with this person? Ask the universe for help for healing. And maybe any books, anything that could guide you. Because everything is here to teach you something. Okay? Everything is here to teach you something. So chances are, if you're an empath, you have to learn boundaries. You had to learn self-love. The one thing they also like to do in this case, it wasn't so much in the physical with her, with the sex stuff, but it was in the energy. Trying to use sex as control, or in this case, it was trying to, I know Tantra, started doing black Tantra to try and steal energy. And that's what I'm trying to say. If somebody does that, they're going to have that stolen from them. So it's not a smart move to try and pull that. But yeah, there was stuff like that, and then tried to teach friends of hers how to do that too. And once again, it would be stolen from them because they put it out. So not that great. Not a smart idea. But yeah, like this is a very small portion. This is kind of like the Hall of Fame of spiritual narcissism that I'm talking about here. It's kind of like, I've never seen abuse of power like that in my life. Unbelievable. So maybe there's a reason I'm called to do the YouTube again. I seriously used to have like 250 plus videos, whatever. But I used to have an intuitive coaching business. But this stuff, it's a perfect example of somebody that shouldn't be touching energy. Shouldn't be touching energy. Something like that. So, I also mentioned universal law. I will probably discuss universal law and actions, reactions. So, like I discussed in this, some of the stuff that the people put out, they should expect that on their end as well. If it's put out, it comes back. It's kind of like, what am I trying to think of with that? No, that's a pretty accurate depiction. It really is. You put out love, you get love. You put out hate, you're going to probably get hate. Like, energy, yeah, that's energy. So, comments, questions down below. I will discuss more about narcissism, that sort of stuff. Like I said, it's a lot more than just, this person is checking themselves in the mirror all the time. That's not, they can have narcissistic traits, but it doesn't make them a full-blown narcissist. One big thing about narcissists, they don't care about consequences. So when I met this one, she flat out said something about blowing up her marriage within probably 15 minutes of knowing them. And I'm kind of like, do I show it on my face? You've got a little kid, little boy, and you literally just didn't even give a shit about saying you would blow up your marriage. And everything, I started to see that more and more, just not caring about consequences whatsoever. And I saw this in the other one. Well, there's 3 total, but oh god, just I really sincerely hope you'll never have to deal with one. Just, yeah. I'm gonna do more videos on this. I needed to. This is like skimming the surface, but we can go from there. All right. So y'all take care. Comments, questions down below. Take it from there.